If you lift weights slowly, you can keep tension on your muscles for longer, but you won't be able to lift as heavy, and so the magnitude of that tension will be lower, reducing muscle growth. For example, in this 2012 study, the group lifting slowly gained less than a third as much muscle as the group lifting normally. If you lift with a normal tempo, you'll be able to lift more weight, putting more tension on your muscles every set. And that's great for building muscle. That's why most people do it. We can do even better. If you lift the weights as fast as you can, you'll maximize force production, fully engaging your muscles right from the beginning of the very first rep. It's perfect for gaining muscle, and you'll gain a ton of extra strength and power. In this study, the participants lifting explosively added twice as much to their 1 rep max as the group lifting with a steadier tempo. When you lift explosively, you can engage all of your muscle fibers all at once, giving you the benefit of lifting heavier weights even when you're lifting in a moderate rep range. You get the best of strength training and hypertrophy training. The reason this works so well is that force is determined by mass times acceleration. If you can maximize acceleration, then you can maximize force production, even if the weights you're lifting are a little bit lighter. There's also this idea of effective reps, where only the hard reps at the end of a tough set are challenging enough to provoke muscle growth. But lifting explosively undermines that idea, causing the whole castle to collapse into the cavern you've dug underneath it. When you lift explosively, you can put in your very best effort right from the beginning of your very first rep. The main reason people lift ballistically is to gain more strength, power, and athleticism. But there's some research showing that you can use it to build more muscle too. This line of research is still pretty limited, but in this study, the group lifting explosively gained over twice as much muscle as the group lifting with a normal tempo. Then when it comes to lowering the weight, just keep it under control, guiding it back down into a strong starting position. You might stimulate more muscle growth if you slow the weight down a little bit. Just don't slow it down so much that it hurts your performance. That's all there is to it. Explode the weight up, then lower it back down under control so you can explode the weight back up again. The only other thing to keep in mind is that you shouldn't heave or jerk the weights around because that can shift the emphasis away from the muscles you're trying to train. And of course, you still need to lift with good technique. But here's where things get controversial. If you're a bodybuilder, you probably have 2 objections. First, lifting explosively means lifting with momentum. And one of the foundational principles of bodybuilding is that you should avoid lifting with momentum. But there's a flaw in that line of thinking. I'll cover that in part 2. The other thing is that lifting explosively is the exact opposite of what bodybuilders do when they're trying to establish a stronger mind-muscle connection. And that mind-muscle connection is thought to be an important part of stimulating muscle growth. But it's not quite so clear-cut as that. I'll cover that in part 3. If you want me to let you know when those 2 videos are ready, hit the subscribe button and ding the notification bell, and I'll let you know when they're up. Alright, that's it for now. If you have any questions, drop them down below.